and this whole very bad day thing happened. Someone, and I don't know who it was, but they arranged. I mean, that morning was the terrible morning at the city pound, and there was about 2,000 pounds of dead creatures brought out in a dump truck. And Dottie Furl, the makeup artist, was trying to shoot them formaldehyde and then make some kind of stand. And I was looking at this, and then she shot through the poor thing's leg and shot herself with formaldehyde. She shot herself with formaldehyde? Yeah, she said, "This isn't working." Yeah, and I said, "No, this isn't working." I said, "How about let's get rid of it? God bless these creatures." And they took behind the house. They took the dump truck and they dumped a 4 or 5 feet tall mound of bodies. And I said, "No, that's not the way. I didn't mean get rid of them that way." And then so some idiot took 5 gallons of gasoline and poured it on top of them, thinking that would come here. I mean, it's something they'd seen in a movie. You know? I mean, 2,000 pounds, that doesn't disappear that easily. But it did produce this incredible plume of black smoke that smoldered and blew into the house on top of all of this other stuff going on. And so, yeah, I'd say cut and people would be, you know. And then a doctor came out with Dramamine, and helped with that. You know, but
anybody needed like Dramamine doctors on set?
No. We had to call a doctor, and the Texas Film Commission was involved in this, and so they helped us. And so that also helped see. But it was terrible. It was hot. But anyway.
Cutting back.
Almost too bad a story to tell.
This is the history.
Yeah, well.
Let's go back even further and talk a little bit about the tent. You were a professor at Austin University. And I believe you made this in part with former faculty and students.
Yeah.
What led you to make this film, and what was it that you wanted to accomplish?
Well, my first film was
Eggshells.
And it only got about 20 play dates or less around the country. It played in art houses that it was psychedelic, crazy, experimental film.
And available on Blu-ray if you have a Region 3 player, by the way, through Arrow UK.
Yeah, and it's cool. It's really political and nuts, and good comedy, and fantastic movie. Well, anyway, but it made no money. It didn't get anywhere. My career didn't go anywhere with it.
This was many, many years before Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, a couple of years. And then so I made Chainsaw as a reaction. You know, because I didn't need stars. Family Matters a star. And I had a lot of footage under my belt by then. I shot a lot. And directed a lot. And so I decided to make a genre film. To get noticed, or at least get another job, and it did achieve that.
In terms of social commentary or political intent.
Oh well, it was in the middle of, in the middle of losing all faith in what was going on with Vietnam, Watergate, all of the things that my poor naive brain back at the time, I always thought, they're telling me the truth, and they're not. I mean, and Austin was a very political, very political school. Yeah, and still is, yeah. And UT was, I mean, it was like hippie central. I mean, it was like the sister city to Berkeley. And so, I mean, that's, you get long conversations of about how the world was coming to an end. And so it was made inside this kind of political world, and it was a part of daily life.
Talking career-wise, going a few years into the future, do you want to talk about the transition from this beat life to working for CBS, for Salem's Lot, for what was pretty much an unprecedented 4-hour miniseries, taking an indie guy and giving that kind of, star cast and major mainstream America, middle American exposure, and then right to working with Mason Neufeld and the people at Universal for the Funhouse. I mean, in just a couple of years, that's an amazing arc.
Yeah, I got a phone call from Marty Rustin to come out. I want you to do this picture. He had made a couple of films, like low budget horror films, and so so I came out and said, do this film. I didn't like the screenplay for some reason, and then I said, and then I cast it, and I was surprised at the talent that was coming in. The actors that were coming in were people that I'd grown up watching movies. Carolyn Jones, Mel Ferrer, but Neville Brand came in for this part of Judd, and he was so drunk when he came in, and he told me this part this is me, this, and so I had to. I mean, he begged me for the part, and I knew a little bit about him, and I knew that he was second highest decorated, second to Audie Murphy, and in the war, and he got too drunk to go pick his medal up, but I also liked it from DOA. You want it in the belly, I give it to you in the belly. He had actually killed people. And so I had a place in Melbourne, and we got a nurse for him. So the nurse was going to dry him out. He was going to get sober. And he did the part. But he was on set 2 weeks before he walked around the corner of the porch, of the hotel, and he said, "Oh wow, I'm making a movie, right?" And his brain snapped into that moment of confusion, and kind of sober state.
You also cast a very young Robert Englund.
Oh yeah, Robert, right? I think it was the second part, but Mustard and Billy. But yeah, and worked with Robert a lot. And there was Mel Ferrer. Mel Ferrer didn't want to put blood in his mouth when he gets the scythe through his.
That's to get back.
He weighed it, and then my makeup, and I finally talked Mel into it, and so he attached the appliance to his neck, and the side blade, and so finally, he would do it for me, and this makeup man went back to the makeup trailer, and he picked up the wrong damn blood. He got blood that
overflow blood, right?
So it had iodine.
Man.
And poisoned Mel. and he got terribly sick. And he was okay, but he I mean, but he said, you know, he would never do that again. And so it was really a kind of a chaotic shoot. A producer and I had a falling out every day, and I would pack up all my crap 2 or 3 times a day. And there was this Japanese man on the set that said, you know, I'm the one. You know, you don't have to fight with it. That you know, we're doing this because of you, and Chainsaw has become a big hit. And I said, oh, well, that changes everything. Yeah.
You started ignoring.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. And then Salem's Lot came along. When I first moved to LA, I had the choice of going to work under Bill Friedkin, at a 3-picture deal at Universal, because I was in Austin and stopped at. For one thing, Bill had called me as he'd seen the movie. He loved it, and then I pulled into a 7-Eleven store like a few days later, and buying a Dr. Pepper, and there was a People magazine with on the cover it had Bill Friedkin and Dino De Laurentiis, and it kept coming out of the screen, and I looked down and it said that Friedkin was screening the picture for Dino Chainsaw. And